Hey, it's Kamala. Hi.
Hey, Senator Harris, how you doing?
Very well. How you doing?
All right, this comedian Rickey Smiley. Welcome to the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Thank you. It's so good to be with you.
Glad to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, she is currently running for Vice President of the United States in one of the most controversial elections in history. Please welcome Senator Kamala Harris.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Glad to have you. Welcome to the room of the Omegas, member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Well, I congratulate all of my Q Psi Phi brothers for the leadership that you provide everywhere and across the nation and across the world. So greetings.
Absolutely. A beautiful Sarah, member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Thank you so much for calling us this morning. And we know that you're in the middle of a confirmation hearing, Amy Coney Barrett, but I'm going to skip that question because we already know they're going to confirm her. Let's get down to the meat.
Okay.
All right, early voting is breaking records in some states already, and now people are talking about possible voter suppression, like in California with the unofficial ballot boxes that Republicans have put out, around the state. How can we ensure that our votes are counted?
Well, first of all, it's critical that everybody vote early. And so vote by mail if you can vote by mail in your state and get that in. Drop off your ballot at a drop box if you're in a state that has drop boxes. And if you must vote in person, vote early. And you can go to iwillvote.com to find out and make sure that you're registered and to find out the polling place that is closest to you, but also find out about instructions on how you can vote by mail. But again, Rickey, I'm just encouraging everybody to vote early because we want to make sure everybody has a plan to vote. Let's not leave it to the last minute.
Right.
Put it on your calendar and just make it happen.
Right.
But I've been getting photographs and text messages from friends all over the country. In particular, in the last day, I've been getting a lot from folks in Texas and Georgia who are standing in those lines. They've been showing me pictures of the lines, but people are in a good mood. They're visiting with each other in line.
Right.
And it's so worth it. It's so important.
It is important. And, your road to this moment has taken you places most will never understand, being a woman, being black, and a prosecutor. What challenges have you faced that you feel will help you govern?
Yeah, well, look, there is so much at stake, Rickey. And, even when you were talking about the Supreme Court, one of the biggest things that is at play in this election in terms of who wins is going to be access to health care.
Absolutely.
Access to health care. This coronavirus has killed over 210 million people, and we are looking at over 7 million cases, almost 8 million cases of people who have contracted the virus, and the people who are most vulnerable to it are folks with pre-existing conditions. We know black folks have 20% more likely to have asthma, 40% more likely to have high blood pressure. Black women 3 times more likely to have lupus than white women. We have so much at stake when it comes to access to health care. President Obama and Vice President Biden passed the Affordable Care Act, called Obamacare, and these Republicans have been so obsessed with trying to get rid of whatever Barack Obama created that they're in court right now trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. On the other hand, Joe Biden is saying, we'll keep it and we'll expand it because it brought access to health care for over 20 million people.
Right.
And so this is one of the things that's at stake right now.
Right. And being a graduate of Howard and a member of the Divine Nine, what plan does the Biden-Harris administration have to assist the black community and help HBCUs continue to thrive? And I went to Alabama State, by the way.
I went to Howard University, by the way.
Oh, we know.
Those of us who go to Howard are very proud.
I know, right? Y'all are everywhere. You, Taraji, Anthony Anderson. Anthony Anderson just pledged Q, so. He did.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good for him.
So Anthony,
yes, but he is also a proud bison.
Right. So Anthony Anderson, D.L. Hughley, same line. They line brothers, and George Clinton. So So we doing.
How about that?
So
how about that? You know who else is Attorney Ben Crump.
Absolutely. That's my friend. See, I love the fact I love this interview because I feel like we're from the same place. It's something about that divine nine, you know.
So here's the thing. So Rickey, I when I gave my acceptance speech to be on the ticket after Joe asked me to run with him, I gave my acceptance speech and I said, and family is very important to me and the way I define family, and I went on the different ways of who is my family, and I said, and my divine nine, brothers and sisters. But wait, and all these reporters were looking at each other, the ones who normally cover, the White House, looking at each other, and they were like, what is that? And I was like, you're about to find out.
I was waiting. And so that debate, which I thought was awesome. What was going through your head when you saw the fly?
I have to tell you, I did see the fly. I did see it, and I just assumed it would fly away because it was a fly. I didn't want to embarrass the man, right, and make a deal out of it on the stage because there was too much to talk about, like the fact that they're trying to get rid of people's health care.
Right.
But it certainly was. I guess it turned out to be something that people talked about. But there was so much at stake. I mean, seriously, they're trying to. They're rolling back the clock on all of these rights. I talked about the fact that Donald Trump was on the debate stage and wouldn't condemn a white supremacist.
Yeah,
right.
That's scary.
I mean, had doubled down on it by saying, stand back and stand by. And that was on the heels of what he did around Charlottesville, which is to refuse to condemn neo-Nazis who were, spewing racial slurs and anti-Semitic slurs. And this is actually, Joe Biden was so outraged by Donald Trump saying fine people on both sides. That's what got Joe in the race, to stand up and fight for the fact that you can't have a president of the United States condoning or saying that white supremacists are equal to peaceful protesters.
Right. Do you think that outrage moderate Republicans and conservative Democrats and just like people that just kind of, do you think that okay, we got to get this guy out of office because we're going to put the principles of the country before party?
I do believe that. I really do. I believe that, look, we all know that our country is without any question a work in progress. We hold dear the ideals on that Supreme Court that say equal justice under law, but we know we have not yet achieved that ideal, but we fight for it, right? And I think that people, regardless of if they're a conservative Democrat or a moderate Republican or anybody else, they want to believe that their president conducts themselves with dignity and with grace and with some acknowledgement of the seriousness of the position to elevate the people and to speak to, our better angels. And we've not seen that in Donald Trump. We've seen someone who has been absolutely, from my perspective, incompetent. At that debate, I said that we have witnessed the greatest failure of a presidential administration in the history of our country. It has been the greatest failure of a presidential administration. And you can't deny it when we're looking at over 215,000 people who have just died in the last several months. But the man still refuses to take seriously the coronavirus and tell people to wear a mask.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We know you're running. We are so happy to have you on this show. Real quick for free. So Saturday night, you at home, you put in your CD. Are you choosing Atomic Dog or Set It Off?
Atomic Dog.
Hey!
Atomic
Dog. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow. You feel.
Thank you so much for this interview. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Senator and future Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris, y'all.
Bye-bye. I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Biden for president.
This is George Grace, 37th Grand Boss of Omega South Africa Incorporated. I want to give Senator Harris a shout out, and she just gave us one, and I want to let her know she's a credit to the African American community, and more so black women. I'm so proud of what she's doing and how she's handled it. And we can't change anything in this country until everybody gets out and voice their opinion on Election Day. This is George Smith with Omega South Africa Fraternity, and I want to thank Senator Harris for all the things that she's done for not only black folks in America, but also for America itself. Senator Harris, thank you so much for running. You have our support, and we want to let you know that we as Omegas are behind you 100%.
This is Tony Grant, Spring 81 Zaza chapter, South Carolina State University. My objective is to say to Senator Kamala Harris, we urge everybody to get out to vote. We're behind you, and we're praying for your successful election.
This is Doug Nash, the Kappa Beta Russ College, Spring 92. I just want Kamala Harris just to know they strong, my sister. We're going to make this thing happen. We appreciate it. Root to the Q's, root to the Br's, root to the K's, and all the rest of the Divine Nine. Peace out.
There it is, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Wow. She started singing Atomic Dog, man. I'm tripping like... So I just interviewed Senator Kamala Harris, and she said, Atomic Dog. Then she said, bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, yippee. Ah! Oh, yeah, she won me over with that one. Make sure y'all get out and vote. That's that nigga Terrell up there throwing the cap out the side, throwing the yos. Oh man, that made my day right there. That's awesome, man. To interview the first potential African American HBCU graduate, Vice President of the United States of America. That was awesome. I'm sitting in one of the greatest moments of my life. That was what a pleasure. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. And we pushing, man, if they win, man, she will become the first black vice president of the United States.